Hi, welcome to the exciting AdWords Essentials training course, where you'll learn how to effectively launch your very own Google Ads campaign, drive quality traffic to your website, and increase your sales, even if you're completely computer illiterate. And you'll be doing all of that in a little over an hour. This is really exciting stuff, and we're so thankful you've chosen to come along with us for the ride. And remember, you're never alone. If at any time you have a question on any of the points covered in this video, please don't hesitate to call us at 516-218-3722 or email us at info@adwordacademy.com, and one of our AdWords specialists will gladly assist you. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to our Senior Account Manager and AdWords Expert in Residence, Isaac Rudansky, who will be your instructor from here on out. Have fun!
Hello, and welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. We're thrilled to have you on board. I started out as an artist and a freelance graphic designer, and I was looking for ways to sell my art on the web, get a little bit of exposure. Well, I stumbled across Google AdWords a while back, and after a long time and a difficult trial and error learning curve, I was able to finally harness the power of a successfully managed ads campaign to literally explode my online presence. Since then, my team and I have helped clients ranging from law firms all the way to coffee houses transform their businesses and boost their earnings with our online marketing techniques. And you're going to be able to do all that in under an hour. And let me tell you, there's nothing like this on the web. A comprehensive, easy to understand, step-by-step guide to launching your own professional campaign. So let's dive right in. If you're watching this video, then you probably already know what AdWords is, but just in case, here's a really brief overview. Google AdWords is the most powerful advertising platform by far that drives consistent, reliable traffic to your website, producing a significant increase in sales. With Google AdWords, you could precision target all of the consumers who are searching for the product or service you sell. And you only pay, and this is one of the coolest features in my opinion of Google AdWords, when someone clicks on your ad and actually lands on your website. So imagine you own a store, and maybe you do, that for example sells specialty mattresses. How much would you pay to get passerby who you already knew were interested in buying the exact mattress that you sell into your store to look around and perhaps chat with you, the owner? 25 cents, 50 cents, $1? That's the power of AdWords. But instead of reaching the local residents who want the special mattress you sell, you can reach everyone in the world who wants that mattress you sell. One of the most common questions I get is, where do my ads show up? Well, it's actually really simple. Let's take a look. So here's what it looks like when I typed camping gear into a Google search and hit enter. The top 3 results are actually paid advertisements from companies that sell camping gear. The ads on the side are similar, but they didn't win the bid to be in the highly coveted top 3 spots. We'll learn all about what it takes to be in the top 3 spots later, but trust me, with the right approach, it'll be a breeze. And remember, none of these camping gear retailers pay a penny until someone clicks on their ad and goes to their website, no matter how many times their ads have been shown, or in other words, how many impressions their ad has received. Just before we plunge into the first chapter, let's just take a moment to go over some pretty amazing statistics. 64.6% of all Google searches result in someone clicking on one of the top 3 Google ads when they're looking to buy an item. So just in case you were skeptical whether or not people actually click on those ads, they really, really do. And that actually makes sense, because more than 40% of Google users don't even know the top 3 results of a search are paid advertisements. And believe it or not, Google gets searched over 1 billion times a day. That's 720,000 searches a minute. So your customers are out there. They're searching the web for what you sell, and the competition is winning their business. Well, that's all about to change. Here's an outline of the steps we'll be covering in Chapter 1. I split the video tutorial into chapters to allow you to reference back to this outline page to make sure you have a good grasp of the steps before advancing to the next section. You'll be following along as I get to the AdWords webpage from my internet browser, use my Gmail account to create an AdWords account, choose the appropriate campaign settings, and set a daily budget for my campaign. For this tutorial, we're going to follow along with the previous example and pretend I'm setting up an AdWords campaign for my fictitious online camping gear store called Camper Hamper. We're also moving forward with the assumption that you have a Gmail account, but if you don't, no worries. Just head over to www.gmail.com and set up a quick email account with Google. You'll want to remember your email and password because you'll be using them soon to create your AdWords account. Now, let's go get those clicks. So here we are on the Google homepage. You can either search for AdWords in the search box or enter in the address manually in the address bar. I'm going to enter in the address manually with www.google.com/AdWords and hit enter. This brings us to the AdWords sign-in page, where you'd enter your email and password once you've created an account. For us new users, we're going to click on the Sign Up Now button towards the bottom of the page right over here. Now before we go any further, sometimes Google will redirect you to a welcome page that looks a little different. So if you happen to see a page that looks like this, just go ahead and click on the Try AdWords Now button, and that will lead you to this page we're on now. We're now at the Google AdWords gateways, if you will, where we use our email account to create our Google AdWords profile. Go ahead and click the top option, which states that we already have an email account. If you don't have your Gmail account set up yet, no problem. Just go right over to gmail.com, set up your email account, and come right back. Once again, click the top button over here, which will conveniently allow us to use our Google account, our Gmail account, for our AdWords profile. When prompted, enter in your email and password. When you're ready, hit enter. Now we just need to set our country, time zone, and currency. Easy breezy. United States, it's already set for me. Time zone, Eastern time, I'm in New York. And currency is already set by default to US dollar. When we're ready, click continue. Voila! Success! Our AdWords account has been created. Now we can finally click on the blue link over here to sign into our new AdWords account. So far, not so bad, right? We are now in the belly of the beast. I know, it already looks like an overwhelming amount of information. Seriously, what are opportunities? But don't worry, we're going to cover everything at the right time. And more importantly, we're going to cover the things you don't need to worry about, so you could focus your efforts on the essential tools and techniques that will yield the greatest results. For now, just go ahead and click on Create Your First Campaign. Yeah, it's a lot to swallow at once, but I promise, by the time we're through, you're going to be wondering what you thought the big deal was. Now it's time to begin our first campaign and choose our desired settings. The first thing we're asked to do is enter in a campaign name. Now, if you're wondering what the difference between a campaign and an account is, a campaign includes your ads and keywords, or search terms, more about that later, that lead customers to your business's website. Say you're also trying to promote your new cookbook you recently self-published, so you might have one campaign running ads for your camping gear website, and another campaign running separate ads that lead people to a landing page where you're selling your cookbook. You can run as many campaigns as you'd like within your one account. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just focus on building our first campaign. Since I'm going to be advertising for Camper Hamper, I'm going to name my campaign Camper Hamper. The next setting option is type. By default, it's set to search and display networks. That means Google will run your ads on other advertising platforms within the Google purview, such as sites like Gmail, Blogger, and YouTube, along with displaying your ads in the classic Google search results. We're going to go right in here and choose Search Network Only. And if you get prompted by Google, which I have here, it says changes you've already made to this page will be lost if you switch campaign types. Continue. We might have to retype our campaign name, which is not a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And sure enough, our campaign name gets reverted back to campaign number 1. So I'm just going to highlight that and retype camper hamper for the name of my campaign. And there's two main reasons why I wanted to go for search network only. Firstly, the performance of your ads will be much easier to track and analyze, an extremely important factor when you're just starting out. And secondly, the quality of the traffic you'll get from the display network will generally be inferior. People are just more likely to click on an ad and make a purchase when they've searched Google for it themselves than if an ad popped up while they were checking their emails or watching a YouTube video. Display network advertising could be very powerful for some businesses, so if you're unsure what the right approach is for yourself, don't hesitate to call us at 516-881-7662 for more help. Keep the standard feature selected over here and ignore these other features below. They're more advanced features and we'll cover them in a more advanced tutorial. Under Networks, go ahead and unclick Include Search Partners. The Google Search Network is a group of search-related sites like Google Shopping and Google Maps upon which your ads could potentially show. It also includes hundreds of other similar websites. But for now, we only want our ads showing on the classic Google search. Google is simply the biggest and baddest, with by far the most searches. So down the road, once my campaign is running smoothly, and I want to increase my budget and my reach, we can think about including search partners and possibly even the display network as well. This next setting over here informs us that our ads will be showing on all types of devices, including laptops, mobile devices, such as a phone, and tablets, like an iPad. Now that's a really good thing for us because people are not differentiating in the usage of their phone versus their tablet versus their laptop in the way they used to. So that's a really good thing. We're happy to have our ads showing up on people's phones, on people's iPads, and on people's laptops alike. The location setting over here first asks us which locations do you want to target or exclude in your campaign. Now the location setting is really great because it allows us to target and specify specific geographics where we want our ads to appear, which in turn allows us to target customers in very specific geographics. So let's say I have a bakery in Paris. I could target my ads to only be showing up in Paris. If my online company ships to the United States and Canada, I could target both of those countries as well. Under locations, we have United States and Canada set as defaults. This means that our ads will only show up on Google search pages in the US and Canada. If we were an international company, we might want to click Appear on all countries and territories. So now let's say Camper Hamper ships to everywhere in the US besides for Oklahoma. So what I'm going to want to do is go ahead over here and click on Let Me Choose, and I'm going to want to add the US and then go and exclude Canada. So in this text box over here, I'm going to type USA. Now here's a list of matches and related locations. So United States over here, if I click it, it'll automatically add, or I can go over here and click the add button. And now I've added the United States as a target for my ads. Now I'm going to go back to this text box and type in Oklahoma. Go up to the top and we have Oklahoma City. We have Oklahoma, United States, which is the state. And I'm going to go over here and instead of clicking add, like I did by the US, I'm going to click exclude, which will mean that none of my ads will show up in any Oklahoma Google searches. So I'm going to go ahead and click exclude. If you've noticed this reach column with these rather large numbers beneath it, it's an estimate of how many people in a specific location may see your ads. So by excluding Oklahoma, we're excluding 5.02 million from our overall reach of 443 million in the United States. Now that we've successfully targeted on the country level and excluded on the state level, let's try to go ahead and exclude a city. So I'm going to go back over here to my text box, click and type Los Angeles. So up to the top we have Los Angeles, California, United States. It tells me over here it's a city with a reach of 12.1 million people, and I'm going to go ahead and click exclude. This adds Los Angeles to our excluded locations list along with Oklahoma. Now if I decide that I did that in error and Camper Hamper really does ship to Los Angeles, that's not a problem because I can go over here and click Remove. And if I go ahead and click Remove, that takes away Los Angeles from our excluded list, and now we remain like we had originally with only Oklahoma being excluded from our targeted location of the United States. Since I'm assuming we all speak English and we all advertise to English-speaking people, under languages we're just going to leave the language default setting to English. So now we're up to bidding and budget. Forget about this advanced options tab over here and just leave the default setting, as AdWords will set my bids to help maximize clicks within my target budget. What are bids, you ask? Well, we'll talk more about that later, but for now here's the basic idea. Let's say I tell Google that I want Camper Hamper ads to show when someone types in the words collapsible walking stick into a Google search. Sounds pretty easy. Well, not so fast. Let's say Models and REI, my two major competitors, are also running an AdWords campaign, and they've also told Google to show their ads when someone types in collapsible walking stick into a Google search. This is where bids come in. One of the main factors that goes into Google's split-second decision of who gets the first, second, and third ad positions is how much each company bid on the keyword collapsible walking sticks. In other words, how much each company is willing to spend on the keyword collapsible walking sticks. So for now, we're just going to let Google choose the best bids based on our daily budget. And rest assured, they do a darn good job. When you're ready, you can always take over the reins and set your bids manually. Budget. This is really straightforward. How much do you want to spend a day on advertising? I'm going to start off with $50 a day. Once your daily budget has been reached, Google will stop showing your ads until the next day. I'll often have clients that want to start off with $400, $500, $600 a day for their daily budget, but I always recommend that for 2 to 4 weeks, they start with a much smaller number, somewhere in the $50 to $100 a day range. That way, they can have the appropriate amount of time to gather significant data. They have the time to see which ads are working, which keywords are the most effective, which variations of their ads are getting the most clicks. Once they tweak their campaign to perfection, then it will be appropriate to explode their daily budget and reap the tremendous benefits. Ad extensions. I consider ad extensions an advanced option, but if used tactfully, they could really do wonders. So let's say your business had a physical location or headquarters. You can enter in a location ad extension, which will then cause your address to show up beneath your ad in a Google search result. This accomplishes two major things. One, a user can click directly on the location and get directions to your store from Google Maps without the hassle of navigating your business's website. And number two, it makes your ad bigger, taking up more real estate on the screen, which is always a huge plus. So I'm going to add my business address by clicking on the checkbox next to the word location, choosing Use Manually Entered Address, and using the text field over here to fill out my company name and my company address. Now, since I don't have an actual company called Camper Hamper, I'm just going to use my own business address. New York. When you're done, go ahead and click Save. Congratulations! You've just made a location-based ad extension. Phew! We've made it to the bottom. Go ahead, give yourself a pat on the back, and then click Save and Continue. Now we're ready to create our first ad group, write our first ad, and select our keywords. But before we do that, let's take a little bit more of an in-depth look on how to write killer ads. Before we talk about the ins and outs of writing great ads, here's a brief outline of what we're going to cover in Chapter 2. Naming your first ad group. We'll talk more about understanding ad groups soon, but for now, An ad group is a group of ads being triggered by a specific group of keywords or search terms. So for example, I'd probably have one group of ads to target camping tents, another group of ads to target hiking backpacks, and so on and so forth. This allows me to specify that searches related to camping tents will only trigger my ads promoting my camping tents, and searches related to hiking backpacks will only trigger my ads promoting hiking backpacks. Pretty neat. Then we'll create our first ad starting with a headline and then moving on to our 2 lines of ad text. We'll then choose the appropriate destination URL or landing page. So for the ads that promote my camping tents, I'm going to want to direct users to the page of my website that sells camping tents. This concept is referred to as landing page relevancy. We'll then take a look at Google Ads preview window, and then we'll talk about understanding different keyword matches. If you don't know what that is, just hang tight. We'll get there. And finally, we'll choose the appropriate keywords or search terms that will trigger the ad we wrote. If you don't understand the basic principles of writing ads, then all the technological elements we're covering will be for naught. So it's crucial we spend some time learning the fundamentals of writing ads that will attract your customers' attention and entice them to click through to your website. Before you even begin writing your first ad, you need to have a crystal clear picture of your company's USP, unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition answers the following questions in a potential customer's head. 1. Why should I buy from you instead of buying from one of your many competitors? 2. Why should I listen to you and believe what you have to say? 3. Why now? Why should I buy from you today, this very minute? And 4. What do you offer that's truly unique? When your USP comes across in your ad in a clear and focused way, then people will immediately believe you're a consummate specialist in the area of your business, and they'll feel secure to rely on your expertise. You may have to spend some time flexing your creative muscles to fit your USP into a Google ad, but the good news is it can be done every single time. The clearer and more focused your USP is, the easier time you'll have fitting it into your Google ad. Keep in mind that many businesses have multiple unique selling propositions, and in truth, every product or service will have its own USP. For Camper Hamper, I have to define why consumers should buy our walking sticks, our camping tents, and our hiking packs, and incorporate that into the text of my ad. Another important ad writing fundamental is to be different. You want to stand out from the crowd. Make sure your ads have some personality. Maybe some humor, maybe a rhyme, as long as it's not over the top or too aggressive. If the writing of the ad is too intrusive or tacky, potential customers can easily get turned off. Not too flashy, not too dull. Keep it catchy, splashy, yet tactful, and you'll be well on your way to writing a really powerful ad. Out of all the different elements of your ad, your headline carries the heaviest weight in terms of importance. It's the first thing customers see, and it's the greatest influencing factor in a customer's immediate decision whether or not you're relevant to them. Google gives you 25 characters or less to fit into your headline and to make a clear, concise statement regarding the product or service you're advertising. The first thing you need to do is to take the keyword or search term the customer just typed into the Google search and fit it into your headline. So let's say I'm writing an ad for my camping tents. My keywords that we're going to choose in the next step will be focused around the 2 words camping tents. I'll probably wind up with a whole list of keywords including terms like camping tents sale, discount camping tents, family camping tents, 3-bedroom camping tents, and so on and so forth. But notice how all my keywords include the words camping tents. So camping tents becomes my central keyword for this ad. That means that I must find a way to include the words camping tents into the headline of my ad. This accomplishes 3 things. First, words in my ad that match the words from the search that triggered the ad will be bolded to catch the attention of the customer. So including the central keyword in the headline of the ad is a sure way to have some of your ads show up in bold letters, which will attract the attention of more customers. Secondly, if Google sees that the headline of the ad matches the search that triggered the ad, Google will deem the ad relevant. And ad relevance is the second primary factor, along with your bid, that determines the position of your ad. So the more relevant Google thinks your ad is, the greater your chances of having your ad appear in higher spots. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, the customer will recognize the headline matching precisely with what he just typed in and will immediately regard your ad as a relevant result. The more alike your headline is to what the customer typed into the Google search, the more likely he or she will click on your ad. Google is very strict with words written in all caps, but they do allow you to capitalize the first letter of every word. This is an easy, tried and true secret to helping your ad stand out from the crowd and catching the early attention of your customers. The last fundamental of writing headlines concerns the very important marketing concept that no matter what you think or how badly you want it to be true, your product or service is just not for everyone. I want my camping tent to be really exciting for outdoorsmen, but really boring for a teenage girl searching for acne cream. If you try to cater your ad to too broad a range of people, you'll end up getting the attention of nobody. Know your customer and write your ads with them and only them in mind. Google gives us 2 lines of text, each with 35 characters or less, to further convince our customers to click on our ad and buy from us. This is your time to shine, to really let your personality and the uniqueness of your product come through. The absolute cardinal rule for your 2 lines of text is to use the first line for the benefits of your product or service and the second line for the features and offers. Ads have been shown to get up to 36 times the click-through rate just by switching around the order of the benefits and features without changing anything else in the ad. Absolutely amazing. So for example, let's go back to my camping tents. Some features of my camping tents may include easily collapsible, made from military-grade nylon, sets up in 10 minutes or less, 100% waterproof, and the list may go on and on. But those aren't benefits. Benefits are the emotional and physical dividends for the customer. They're why they want to buy the product in the first place. In other words, the benefits are the results of the product or service. Staying safe and warm in the wilderness, that's a benefit. Not getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, that's a benefit. Why the customer really wants the product. The portability and the materials are important and enticing, but they're secondary. Remember, nobody buys a vacuum because they want a vacuum. They buy a vacuum because they want a clean room. And keep in mind, all ads get reviewed by a Google editor, and ads with inflammatory or hateful language will quickly be disapproved. Multiple infractions can result in getting banned from AdWords altogether, so let's do our best to avoid that and just play by the rules. A couple more things to be cognizant of while writing your ads. Do you offer free shipping? An uncommonly large or diverse selection? Tell people. If there's something specific that really makes your business stand out from the competition, go right ahead and draw attention to it. People are always searching for coupons, discounts, or limited time offers. If you're running a special promotion or a seasonal sale, your Google ad is a perfect place to promote it. So if you're offering, say, 20% off to new customers, go ahead and put that in the second line of your ad. Now, you definitely shouldn't make yourself crazy about this last tip, but it is something worthwhile to keep in mind. While you're writing your ad, you should have a good idea what web page that ad will land customers on. So back to our example, my ads for camping tents is going to lead my customers to my web page that lists my camping tents for sale. But I want to also keep an eye on the general content of that specific web page, like promotions, shipping rates, and offers, and also keep an eye that the content of my ad is in tandem with whatever my customer is going to see once they click on it. If my customer sees one thing in my ad, and then another thing on my website once he or she clicks on the ad, well, it won't do very much in the way of creating a sense of trust and honesty, and the chances of converting that customer to a sale will have drastically decreased. Now let's take everything we just learned and go write our very first killer ad. So here we are back to our main page where we're going to name our first ad group, create our first ad, and choose our keywords. The first thing we're going to do is name our first ad group. Instead of advertising for the general camper-hamper business, I've decided to dedicate this ad group to our new line of cutting-edge hiking packs. That means that this ad group will contain a number of similar ads highlighting the benefits and features of our hiking packs with a list of hiking pack related keywords that will tell Google to display our ads when a search term matching any of our keywords is typed into a Google search. Put simply, the ads in this ad group we're creating now will show when someone searches for hiking packs, and they may not show when someone searches for camping stoves. And that's a really good thing, because the more relevant and precise our ads are to the initial search query, the more relevant our ads will be to Google and to the customer, and the more likely our ads will be clicked on. How are we going to sell our camping stoves, you ask? Easy. We're going to create a separate ad group for our camping stoves later. So I'm going to go ahead and name this ad group Hiking Packs. The ad group name doesn't affect the way the ads run in any way. It's purely there to help you organize and keep track of which ad group advertises which branch or product of your business within a specific campaign. So feel absolutely free to name it whatever you'd like. Okay, the headline. Keep in mind what we learned previously. You've got 25 characters or less to attract the attention of your customers, and only your customers. We're going after the attention of people who are already searching for hiking packs, so make sure you let people know in your headline that you offer exactly what it is they're looking for. And always keep in mind to include your central keyword in the headline text. So we already know that our central keyword for this ad group is going to be hiking packs, so I know I need to include hiking packs in my ad headline. The first thing that comes to my mind for a clear, concise, yet catchy headline is rock solid hiking packs. Let's see if it fits. Yep, it does. And notice how I made sure to capitalize each letter. If you go over your allotted characters, you'll be prompted by Google like this: a negative sign followed by the amount of characters you've exceeded your allotted space. So I like rock solid hiking packs as an ad headline for a couple reasons. One, it's straightforward. I'm letting my customer know that I offer what it is he's looking for. I tell him straight out and I leave nothing unclear. Two, it's bold. I'm not ambiguous about my product. I know it's great and I'm not afraid to say it. Three, it's not over the top or too self-indulgent. And four, and most importantly, it includes my central keyword in my ad text. You don't have to overthink the headline now, because you can always come back later, and I'm going to show you how, and change this ad around and write additional ads. Once you have multiple ads, Google will alternate your ads and you'll get to see which one of them is performing better. Once you gather significant data, you could delete the ad that's performing worse and write another one to test against the winner. This is called split testing, or A and B testing, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Now we're ready to write our first line of our ad, also known as the description line number 1. Remember our USP, unique selling proposition. Why we're unique. Also remember that the first line should always focus on the benefits of our product and save the second line for features. So since I'm an expert in the market, I'm really not, by the way, this is just an example, I know that 2 major hiking pack problems are back pain and skin irritation from straps. I also know that my innovative buckling mechanism on camper hamper packs solves both of these universal issues. So right off the bat, I figured out my USP for my camping packs. We're unique because we offer a solution to 2 serious problems, a solution that my competitors don't offer. So I gotta see if I can highlight these benefits in the first line of my ad. Remember, solving back pain and skin irritation isn't a feature of the camping pack, it's a benefit, and a far more powerful selling tool than telling your customers how many pockets your pack has. So let's see if I can fit this into my first line of text. No, you see it's 2 characters too long. What could I do? I don't want to knock out either of my benefits. Anyone have the solution yet? How about this? Changing the word "and" to the "and" sign, also known as the ampersand. Not bad, eh? Now I'm able to call attention to both of my major benefits and fit it all into the first line of ad text. Pretty awesome. Now we're ready to write the second line of our ad, also known as the description line number 2. Let's try to highlight some features in the second line of ad text. But wait, I know that Camper Hamper is currently offering a free monogrammed poncho with the purchase of any pack, and I also want to let my customers know that we offer free shipping. You may be wondering why I'm not concerned about listing specific features about my camping pack, and there are 3 answers to that. 1, my headline is enough to let my customers know that I'm offering camping packs. 2, the unique benefits I advertise in my first line of text are likely powerful enough to get a customer to my webpage and check out the specific features themselves. And 3, it's always a great idea to advertise anything you're offering for free. The word free has an uncanny ability to attract someone's attention, and as we all know, a good customer is always looking for a bargain or a free giveaway. So I'm going to go ahead and write my second line of ad text. If I had an extra character, I might put an exclamation point, but since I don't, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So here we have it, our very first ad. We adhered to the guidelines, and I'm really happy with the way this ad turned out. And remember, you can always come back and play around with it later. But it's definitely a solid start. The display URL is the web address that will show in the ad. Sometimes an actual specific page URL is really long and unsightly, so Google lets us use the general company URL to be shown with the ad. The destination URL down here is where we're going to enter the actual page URL that we want our customers to land on after clicking on an ad. So for example, if I actually had a website called Camper Hamper, and sorry to disappoint any of you who thought I did, I'd use camperhamper.com as my display URL and maybe something like camperhamper.com/campingpacks as my destination URL. If you don't know your destination URL, all you have to do is go to the destination web page and copy the entire address in the address box and then paste it here in the destination URL box. I'll show you how to do all that in just a second. So since I don't have a website called Camper Hamper, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use the REI website. If you don't already know, REI is a large outdoors company that sells all sorts of camping and hiking gear and equipment. I just bought a pair of ski boots from them, and their customer service was absolutely amazing. Highly recommended. So for the display URL, just plug in rei.com. Simple enough. For the destination URL, I want my customers to land on the page that sells hiking packs. So I went to rei.com and searched for hiking packs and landed on this page. This is the page I'd want my customers to land on after clicking on a hiking pack related ad. So I'll just copy the address from the search bar, go back to my AdWords tab, and paste it into the destination URL box like this. You see? Super easy. This ad preview section over here is fairly self-explanatory. It shows you how your ad will look if it shows up on the side of a Google search result page, and how your ad will look if it shows up in one of the top 3 spots. If you write an ad and something looks awkward, go right back over here to the side and play around with it until it looks satisfactory. The ad we wrote looks pretty good, so I'm going to keep it how it is and move on. Now it's time to choose our keywords. If there is still any uncertainty as to what a keyword is any number of words that key or cue Google to display your ad. So for the record, a keyword is not necessarily one word. In fact, You should try to avoid one-word keywords as much as possible for the sake of being as specific as possible. Setting up a comprehensive and efficient keyword list is not only an involved process, it's also a constantly evolving component of your AdWords campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and just for now, add in some basic keywords that I want Google to use as guidelines in determining when to show my ad. So I'll start off with the following list of keywords. Discount camping packs. New line for each keyword. Camping packs sale. Hit enter to get to a new line. Hiking and camping packs. Overnight camping packs. Lightweight camping packs. And online camping packs. This means that when someone types into a Google search anything that Google determines is relevant or related to one of my above keywords, my ad will show up. Now that I have a pretty good starting point for my keyword list, I want to add in a few negative keywords. Negative keywords tell Google not to show my ad when those negative keywords are contained within a Google search. Negative keywords are extremely powerful since they are an effective way to make sure people who you can't sell to don't click on your ad and cost you money. So I know Camper Hamper doesn't sell camping packs for kids, so I'm going to go and add kids and children to my negative keyword list. I do this by putting a minus sign in front of each word that I want to be a negative keyword. So before I entered those two negative keywords, my ad might have shown up when someone typed in kids camping packs for sale, since camping packs for sale is a keyword, and Google might determine that I'm relevant enough even if the search also contained other words that weren't part of my keyword. But now that I added kids as a negative keyword, my ad will never show up for a search containing the words kids or children. So bear in mind to add negative keywords for whatever your product or service does not offer. If there is a movie or a game that shares similar words to your product or business, you might want to consider adding movie or game as negative keywords. If there are other companies that offer for free what you're selling, then you might want to add the word free as a negative keyword. I think you get the idea. Now we can move on to the next step. We've named our ad group, wrote a killer ad, double-checked our ad in the ad preview, and created a solid list of positive and negative keywords. Let's go ahead and click Save and continue to billing. Now we're going to set up the billing component of our account. The first thing Google asks us to do is to select the country or territory where our billing address is located. So I'm going to go ahead and select United States and click Continue. So this is our billing summary page. We can see the last payment we've made, our primary payment method, and our current account balance. We can customize the date range over here if we want to see our billing overview for a specific time period or date range. Now let's go ahead and set up our primary payment method. We're going to use this green menu bar on the top of the page to navigate to our billing preferences. Click on the billing link and select Billing Preferences from the drop-down menu. Once again, we're asked to enter in our country or territory, so I'm going to find United States again and click Continue. Now we're ready to set up our billing profile. So let's go ahead and enter in our business information. Business name, contact name, the person in your business responsible for the AdWords payments, address, and finally phone number. When you're all done, go ahead and click Continue. Now we can choose our payment settings. Google sets automatic payments by default, which means Google will automatically charge your credit card or your bank account when you reach your billing threshold or 30 days after your last automatic payment, whichever comes first. I'm going to choose to set up my account with a credit card, so I'm going to select the credit card radio button. I'm going to enter in my credit card information and then click Continue. When I'm done, I'm going to click Continue. We're now prompted with a standard terms and conditions page, so go ahead and click Yes, I agree to the above terms and conditions, and then go ahead and click Submit and activate my account. So here we are in the primary AdWords dashboard. The first thing you'll probably notice is a cleaner look to the design than what we've seen before. For one, the green navigation bar is gone, and that's because within the last couple of days, AdWords updated the appearance of the dashboard, but all the essential features remain the same. The red bar over here, running across the top of the screen, is a common notification you'll get when your campaigns are paused. It's letting me know that none of my ads are running. Right now, I've enabled a campaign, but over the last couple of days, this campaign was paused, so I didn't rack up a nice bill sending traffic to REI. There are a lot of buttons and menus on this screen, and the places you can go from here are many, but I'm going to show you just the buttons and tabs you'll need to run and manage your new campaign. Let's take a quick look at this top navigation first. The Home tab brings you to an overview of your account performance. Here you can get an assortment of performance metrics related to your campaigns, ads, and keywords at a glance. It looks like a lot, but don't worry about it. You're going to spend most, if not all of your time back over here in the Campaigns tab. The Opportunities tab is where you'll be able to see automated suggestions from Google with different ways you can improve your campaign. Often, they'll give you a list of keywords related to the keywords already in your account, and you can decide whether or not you'd like to add them. Since this is a new account, there aren't any opportunities yet. You'll get a notification when Google has an opportunity for you. I find that the opportunity suggestions are only occasionally helpful, so don't worry about this tab when you're just starting out. The Tools tab over here gives you a drop-down menu with a number of secondary navigation tabs. The one tool that we're going to focus on later is this tool over here called the Ad Preview and Diagnosis at the bottom. It's a really helpful tool that will allow you to easily determine if your ads are currently running and how they look and where they place on actual search results. Okay, back to our primary dashboard under Campaigns. This column on the left gives us a list of all of our online campaigns. Right now there's only one, since we've only created one campaign within the account, but if we were to create more campaigns in this account, they would show up here and you'd be able to navigate to different campaigns by clicking on their name in this column. In our main dashboard over here, we have our account structure arranged in hierarchical order. The first tab will show us our campaigns, which are all comprised of at least one ad group, one ad, and one keyword. The Ad Groups tab will show us our ad groups, which are all comprised of at least one keyword. The Ads tab will show us an overview of all the ads running within our account, and the Keyword tab will show us all the individual keywords within our ad groups. For now, don't worry about the Settings, Ad Extensions, and Dimensions tabs. They aren't essential to viewing and managing the most fundamental aspects of your account. It's important to know that each of these tabs will bring up a unique set of columns that are specifically relevant to the level of data we're looking at. Let's take a look at what I mean by that. Under the Campaigns tab, I'm able to see the campaign name, which I can change by simply clicking on it over here. I can see my campaign daily budget, which I can also change anytime by clicking on it and entering a new dollar amount. Let's say I want to spend a little less today. I can easily knock $20 off my budget and click Save. Remember, since we're at the uppermost level of our account hierarchy, everything below this level, like ad groups and keywords, will draw from this overall budget. In other words, no matter how many keywords or ad groups I have in my account, and no matter what my individual keyword bid is, I won't spend more during the day than what I set here as my campaign budget. Moving on. Campaign type tells me where my ads are showing, and since we set up our campaign to only run on the search network, we see that setting reflected in this column here. Clicks will tell me, yes, you guessed it, how many clicks all the ads in my campaign have received within the date range specified by this box in the upper right-hand corner of my dashboard. I can always change the date range to see data for the precise dates that I want, but since we haven't collected any data yet, it doesn't really matter, so I'll just stick with the standard previous 7 days. The Impressions tab shows the number of times my ad appeared on a search results page. The CTR, or click-through rate, is simply impressions divided by clicks, giving me the percentage of times my ads received a click based on how many times they were shown. Average CPC, or known as cost per click, tells me the average price a click has been costing me. And the cost shows me the total cost for all clicks within this campaign over the specific date range. In this case, it would be the last 7 days. An easy way to see total cost since the start of your campaign would be to select All Time from the drop-down Date Range menu up here. The last column, Average Position, tells you the average placement on the search results pages or ad slot your ads have been receiving. You generally want this number to be between 1 and 4. An important thing to note when viewing data at the campaign level is that you can have one really highly performing ad group and one ad group performing poorly, and you'll see the average of those two ad groups' performance here. So remember, averages do tend to lie, and always make sure to check your performance at the ad group and keyword level as well. Let's take a look at that now. Clicking on the Ad Groups tab allows me to see data at a more narrow level. Since we only have one ad group, we're only seeing data for that one ad group. Most campaigns will have more than one ad group, so let's go ahead and add another ad group to see what that looks like. To add an ad group, click on the red Add Ad Group button. We'll be asked to select a campaign we want this ad group to be included in. Clicking on the menu will show us a list of all our campaigns we can choose from. Since we've only created one campaign, this is a pretty easy choice for us. Now that we've selected the right campaign for our ad group, go ahead and click Continue. Hopefully this page looks a little familiar to you. We're going to repeat the same steps we took to create our first ad group. Let's say we want to advertise for Camper Hamper's new line of lightweight packable down sweaters. I'll name the ad group Lightweight Down Sweaters, so I know this ad group contains ads and keywords related to this product line. Keeping in mind our ad copy guidelines, let's write a basic ad. It's not going to be perfect the first time around, but we can always come back later and tweak the ad as much as we'd like. Once we're basically happy with our ad, let's go ahead and create a keyword list. Keep in mind we can always add to this keyword list later on. Since we don't sell children's jackets, we'll add children as a negative keyword, along with a couple other terms that I don't want my ad to show up for. Remember, in order to add a negative keyword, enter the keyword with a minus sign in front of it. Once you finish creating your keyword list, don't forget to add a maximum cost per click or default bid. Essentially, you're telling Google here, don't ever charge me more than this amount for any keyword within my campaign. So for now, let's say our maximum cost per click will be $1. Once you've entered in your default bid, go ahead and click Save Ad Group. Now under our Ad Groups tab, we have a row for each of our ad groups. At the ad group level, we can see data like campaign name, which tells me the campaign that the particular ad group is a part of, status, which will tell me if the ad group is active or paused, and default max cost per click, which is the most I'm willing to pay for a click for any of the keywords in my campaign. Like the campaigns columns, I have metrics like clicks, impressions, click-through rate, average cost per click, cost, and average position. But now I'm seeing this data on a more specific level. Under the Campaigns tab, I'm seeing all the combined data for all the ad groups within my campaign. At the ad group level, I get to see the same data for the keywords and ads within specific ad groups. So I can see how results are varying between my advertising for hiking packs and my advertising for the down sweaters. Viewing the data under the Campaigns column, I can't see this level of segmentation. You may have noticed that my campaign is collecting some impressions and clicks. That's because my campaign is actually live for the sake of the tutorial. I've set my keyword bids pretty low, so I won't rack up too many clicks. Clicking on the Ads tab up here will allow me to see data for all the ads within all my ad groups, and clicking on the Keywords tab over here will allow me to see data for all the keywords within my ad groups. But let's say I want to see ad and keyword data for a specific ad group. Let's take a look at how to do that. Head back over to your Ad Groups tab where we can see data for all of our ad groups. Now, instead of clicking on the Ads or Keywords tab up here, which like we just saw will show us the data for all of the ads and keywords within all of the ad groups, I'm going to click on the title of a specific ad group. Doing this will allow me to see the data on the next level down the ladder for that specific ad group. So clicking on hiking packs will take me directly to the keywords in the hiking packs ad group. To get back to my Ad Groups tab, I need to click on my campaign name in the left column over here, and I'll be brought back to my Ad Groups tab. If I want to now see the data for our new ad group, Lightweight Down Sweaters, all I need to do is click on the ad group name. Now let's take a look at the basic columns we're seeing at the keyword level. First, we have the keyword itself. Then we have the status of the keyword, the max cost per click, which is in essence my keyword bid, clicks, impressions, click-through rate, average cost per click, cost, and average position. By now you're getting familiar with these columns, but the important thing to note here is that you're seeing this data at the most detailed and narrow level possible. Instead of seeing things like cost per click and impressions at the campaign or ad group level, you're seeing all that data for each and every individual keyword within your account. To sort the list in ascending or descending order of any of these columns' metrics, simply click on the top of the column and the list will sort accordingly. I usually like to see which keywords are getting the best click-through rates, so at some point in reviewing the data within an account, I'll be sure to go into my Keywords tab and sort the list by click-through rate by clicking the top of the CTR column. Now, let's say I want to change my max cost per click bid. As we could see over here, all my keywords in this ad group have a $1 max cost per click. But let's say I see that my average position for down jackets and packable down sweaters is a 5 or a 6, and I want to bid a little higher on that keyword to kind of bump up the average position. So that's really easy. All I need to do is select the checkbox by the keywords' bid I want to change. So we're going to check down jackets and packable down sweaters. You're going to go over to Edit, click on Change Max Cost Per Click Bids, and I'm going to set my max cost per click bid to, let's say, $1.75. And then click Make Changes. So that was very easy. Now, down jackets has a max CPC of $175, and packable down sweaters also has a max CPC of $175. Now, as the next few days go on and I get a lot of clicks and impressions, I'll be able to see if this increase in bid was sufficient to bump up my average position to a more desirable ad slot on the page. Now let's say I want to add a couple keywords. I did some research and I found that I'm not getting all the searches that I could be getting for this list of keywords I have here. Let's say instead of having only down jackets and packable down sweaters, I want to have lightweight down sweaters as a keyword. So adding a keyword or adding a number of keywords is also a really simple thing. All you need to do in the Keywords tab, like we're in now, go ahead and click on the Add Keywords red button here and simply type in the keywords you want to add. So for now I'm going to add one keyword. Packable down, not packable down sweaters, but lightweight down sweaters, which is one of the keywords we don't have in the account yet. You'll notice on the right, Google will suggest some automated suggestions here. If you see any keywords that really strike a relevance to your product, go ahead and add them. I'm looking quickly through this list, and I don't see any keywords that really strike me. But let's say I say, hey, feather down jacket. That's something which people search a lot. That's really what my product is. It's very relevant. All I gotta do is take the keyword, click add, and Google automatically adds it to my added keyword list. Go ahead and click save, and now those two new keywords have been populated in my keywords list. Now let's say I come back in 2 weeks and I see that the keyword feather down jacket has received 500 impressions and only 2 clicks, which would be a really, really low CTR or click-through rate. So clearly this is not a good keyword for this ad group. It could be that this keyword would be best served in a different ad group with a different ad, or I might just need to phase out this keyword from my campaign altogether. But for now I just want to go ahead and pause this keyword. So how do I pause a keyword? Well, it's really easy. This green dot on the left of the keyword indicates that this keyword is currently enabled. To pause it, just go ahead and click on the green dot, select paused, and now feather down jacket will not trigger any of my ads. In order to re-enable the keyword, all you gotta do is click on the paused icon and go ahead and click enabled. Now the search query feather down jacket or search queries closely related to feather down jacket will trigger your ads in this ad group to show. Let's say we wanted to add some negative keywords into the account. To do this, go ahead and click on negative keywords below your normal keyword list. It presents us with 2 options. We could either add a negative keyword at the ad group level, or we can add a negative keyword at the campaign level. Well, what does that mean exactly? Right now, we're in the data section of lightweight down sweaters ad group. So if we add a negative keyword at the ad group level, it will only apply to ads keywords in the lightweight down sweaters ad group. If we add a negative keyword at the campaign level, that negative keyword will apply to all the ad groups within my camper hamper campaign. So it will apply to lightweight down sweaters and it will apply to hiking packs. Now, what does it matter? Well, I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, camper hampers lightweight down sweaters don't have any pockets. But the hiking packs that we sell have lots of pockets. And pockets are a pretty common feature that is searched for when people are looking for hiking packs. Now, there are other companies that sell lightweight down sweaters that also have pockets, and sometimes people include the word pockets when searching for a lightweight down sweater. Now, since camper hampers lightweight down sweaters don't have pockets, we don't want our ads showing up for people who are specifically looking for a lightweight down sweater with pockets. So in this case, we would want to add the word pockets as a negative keyword at the ad group level. That way, we won't be phasing out people searching for hiking packs with a lot of pockets. So let's go ahead and add pockets as a negative keyword at the ad group level for only lightweight down sweaters. Now, what kind of keyword would we add at the campaign level? Now, the truth is, these keywords like cheap, children, eBay, and free, these are negative keywords that would be best served at the campaign level, because we don't sell children's hiking packs or down sweaters, and we definitely don't sell free hiking packs or down sweaters, and we don't want people looking for hiking packs or down sweaters on eBay. So just as an example, we'll go ahead and add keywords at the campaign level and throw in cheap, free, eBay, and kids. So this is a kind of a good overview of when you would want to use a negative keyword at the ad group level and when you would want to add negative keywords at the campaign level. To close up this dialog box, just go ahead and click negative keywords. Now, I know there are still a lot of buttons and menus on the page that we haven't covered yet. Most of these buttons lead us to advanced customizations and data dimensions, but they aren't integral to launching your first campaign. First, familiarize yourself with all the fundamental components of the dashboard, and then you should definitely come back and tackle the more advanced techniques and features that AdWords has to offer. Now, as you can see in the status column, while my keywords are individually enabled, they aren't running live because the camper hamper campaign is paused. To enable a paused campaign, we need to navigate back to our campaigns tab. To do this, click on all online campaigns in the upper left-hand corner of the dashboard. Google automatically directs us to our ad groups tab first, but now we can get back to our campaigns dashboard by clicking on the campaigns tab to the left of the ad groups tab. Like we saw in our keywords dashboard, all we need to do to enable a campaign is to click on the paused icon and select Enabled. Congratulations! Now our campaign is live and Google is showing my ads on actual search results pages. This is really exciting. Now, let's say I want to see if my keyword is currently triggering my ads and in what position on the page I'm showing up. One way we can do this is to head over to google.com and do an actual search for our keyword. But let's say you're not targeting your ads to be shown in your current location. Secondly, you don't want to rack up false impressions without clicks, because that will cause you to have a low CTR, which could ultimately increase your cost per click. Now, the relationship between cost per click and click-through rate has a lot to do with a portion of AdWords called quality score, but it's a very complicated, in-depth topic beyond the scope of this video. But either way, Google provides you with a great tool that allows you to run a test search in order to see exactly how your ads look and where they're showing up for any of your given keywords. You can access this tool by clicking on Tools and then selecting Ad Preview and Diagnosis over here, but I'm going to show you a really neat shortcut. Head over to your Keywords tab so you can see a list of all the keywords in the Camper Hamper campaign. In the status column, hover over the little speech tooltip of the keyword you want to test. So let's say I want to test lightweight down sweaters. So I get over to my status column, and here's the little tooltip. I'm going to hover over. Now in this little pop-up, you'll see right away if your ad is showing right now, and our ad appears to be showing. You'll see a simplified breakdown of our quality score. We're now showing a 9 out of 10, which is very good. But at the bottom here, what you want to do is click on Ad Preview and Diagnosis. This takes us to the Diagnosis tool. But since I got here by a specific keyword, Google automatically populates the search box with the keyword I want to test. Pretty neat. I can edit my testing parameters by language, location, and device, but let's just stick with the default settings for now. Now to run the test, all we need to do is click the preview button. Pretty cool. We see our ad is showing up in the second place, right alongside LL Bean and Eddie Bauer. Watch out guys, Camper Hamper is here to stay. To test another one of your keywords, all you need to do is enter in the keyword in the search box and click preview again. So let's try testing down jackets, which is another one of our keywords. Go ahead and click preview. Once again, our ad is showing in the second spot, right below Land's End. This is a great way to see how your ads are stacking up against the competition and exactly where on the page your ad is showing up. Now, since the keyword diagnosis tool lives in a new tab in our browser, I can easily get back to my AdWords dashboard by clicking the AdWords tab up above over here. Well, we've made it to the end. I really hope this tutorial helped you to get started with your very own successful AdWords campaign, and I want to sincerely thank you for taking the time to follow along with me. Although we've only scratched the surface of the features available within AdWords, you now have all the tools to get going with a profitable AdWords marketing campaign. We've covered things like understanding the power of Google AdWords, creating an account, configuring your campaign, setting up geographical targeting, setting your budget, understanding bids, creating ad extensions, learning how to write great, compelling ads, choosing appropriate keywords, navigating the AdWords dashboard, creating new ad groups, adding positive and negative keywords, pausing keywords, ad groups, and campaigns, using the Ad Preview and Diagnostics tool, and a lot more. Remember, if at any time you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to call us at 516-218-3722 or email us at info@adwordacademy.com. Also, please feel free to visit us on the web for a live chat at www.adwordacademy.com. Thanks so much again, and I really hope to hear from you soon. Good luck!